What's up, guys? This is Daniel from Arms Family Homestead, and as you can see, we're starting a new project at the new cabin property. Something that I wanted to do since the first time I saw this place was bring a forestry mulcher out here. So this skid steer has a big attachment on the front that's like it's called a forestry mulcher, and it literally grinds these little trees and saplings up into just mulch. And a lot of this property is just covered in just tiny brush and stuff that a bulldozer would probably just run over and it would stand back up. So I hired a good friend of mine. His name's Carl, and this is what he does for a living. He's got this skid steer and several attachments. Actually, Carl's been on the channel before, but you got to go like 5 years back. We used to duck hunt together a lot. I think I did a video one time with him called "It's Raining Ducks" or something, way back. But anyways, Carl's going to be out here for a couple days, just kind of opening things up, cleaning things out, and clearing off a little bit of this underbrush. So so here's the cabin. We're starting close to the cabin and the road that comes in. Our pond project, what little bit of the pond you can see is right there, but it actually goes way back into here, and I want to open this up so that we can actually see more of the pond from the cabin. But right now he's going to start on the road, the driveway in, just to kind of open things up and so that you're not scratching your vehicle coming in. I'm going to have him make about 2 passes down either side of the road. It doesn't look too bad from right here, but you can see where he's at, just to keep from crowding the road, and then we can keep it clean and mowed. And he'll go back over all of this a couple times, and literally it just turns these trees into mulch on the ground. Well, he's got one side of the road mostly taken care of. I want to show you a before and an after. So you see how everything was encroaching in on the driveway, and you're constantly dealing with trimming trees and stuff scratching your vehicle. So we just opened up about a, 20-foot path. I can come in and clean all the rest of this up with my tractor and my grapple, and then eventually we'll be able to mow this and have a nice clean driveway coming into the property, and not be scratching up our vehicles. Did you guys see that? See all that green twine that's wrapped up around this big mulching head? I've been out here for probably a half an hour picking up all this old hay twine. There's just piles and piles of it out here, and I'm assuming at one point in time, so they used to cut hay off of this. I mean, they've cut hay off of this hay field every year. But my guess is they stored hay just along the driveway. And over the years, there's been some bales that didn't get picked up. So here's a little bitty tiny piece, but there's huge bundles of this net wrapping from round bales of hay. I've tried to go through and pick it up so he doesn't end up with it all in his mulching head. But here's one pile. I've probably got 3 or 4 piles like that scattered. It's just really hard to see because it gets all grown up in the brush and the grass, and I'm trying to help him out. Watched our channel for any length of time, you know this is a job these kind of jobs are the ones that I try to do myself. I'll go get a skid steer from GP Rents, the Kubota place here in Davis, and rent the attachment and get the work done. But these mulching heads are very expensive, and there's a lot of maintenance on them, so they're I don't think GP has ever had one of those that was for rental. You get the skid steer and the high flow hydraulics and stuff, but the mulching head on the front, those things are very expensive, and it's just not something that they rent out. So I hired Carl. He charges like, I think he said $130 or $140 an hour, but he's only been here 30 minutes and he's already got one side of the driveway done and working on the second. So we'll probably have him here working for a couple days. And it's just so much cleaner when he gets through with an area than what a bulldozer would do. It's not disturbing the soil, so we're not going to have to worry about erosion as much, and you don't have those big brush piles to burn, because he's just mulching it all up and it'll all go back into the soil eventually. 90% of what he's mulching right now is this invasive red, eastern red cedar and elm trees, neither of which are desirable. They're not good hardwoods in our area. They're just things that will take over, you know, basically what used to be an open hay field now looks like this. So you can see they've always cut this and baled hay, but as soon as they stop, I mean, within just a couple years, it turns to this, and it's so thick you literally can't even walk through all of it. Now, we're not going to get rid of everything. We're wanting to deer hunt and turkey hunt and do everything on this property, but it does need some maintenance. It does need some upkeep, and we'll get rid of every one of those, no doubt. It's going to take a long time, but I would cut down every cedar tree on this property if I could. I've got the TYM tractor in the shop because I'm going to be installing something I've never had. So today's video, I'm planning on loading the tractor up and taking it over to the new property and doing some work. We've had that big forestry mulcher over there for a couple days working and cleared out a ton of just brush and gnarly just junk. But there's still a lot of stuff that needs to be mowed and cleaned up, and a ton of little short cedar trees that, you know, it's really not worth chasing around with that forestry mulcher. But I can take my my Homestead Implements rotary cutter, or brush hog as most people call it, and do a lot of cleanup over there. But before we load the tractor up, something I have never had, and I have one now sitting in that box, is a hydraulic top link. Now, I've always kind of wanted one. I just never actually broke down and bought one. But I was talking to Nathan from the Out of the Woods Forestry channel. Nathan has he has two different TYM tractors. And he was like, dude, you got to get this hydraulic top link. And the goal with a hydraulic top link is with your 3-point implements, a lot of times you don't want them just flat. Sometimes you need to angle them you know, forward and backwards, and maybe not so much with the rotary cutter, but like the land plane or the rake or just a lot of different implements. That hydraulic top link makes a huge difference, and you know, you don't have to get off and adjust. So this top link will do the same thing. You just spin it and you can, you know, extend it or pull it in, and it adjusts the angle and pitch of that implement. But being able to do that hydraulically inside the cab, much easier. Pretty straightforward, easy install. I knew there wouldn't be a whole lot to it. It was just making sure I got the hoses in the right way. Ended up moving them to the bottom set of hydraulics. Put it on the A instead of the B, and then I did put this Outback hose wrap on here. These are just a little hydraulic line. They're called hose tamers. That was something else that Nathan from Out of the Woods recommended. Just kind of help protect those hydraulic lines, keeps them together, and they're not bouncing around and less likely to get damaged by tree limbs or whatever. So I just bought these on Amazon along with the hydraulic top link. Both came from Amazon, and I think that's going to be a game changer for the 3-point implements on the back of this TYM tractor. So next we're going to go hook up to the big tilt deck trailer that I bought and get the tractor loaded up. Probably not going to get out to the new place today. We'll probably pick up there tomorrow and get some work started.
My wristwatch is broken, my shoes are untied. Time is a-ticking, and so is the tide. But I am not worried, things are what they are. Come rain or come shine or a shooting star. I've been to the south, been to the north, east and the west, the middle of course. I may have been astray, but I've never been lost, never been beat by the road I've crossed. I guess I've been lucky to some degree, for someone who ate all the fruit from the tree. Stars been aligned and my goose hanging high. I'll be okay in the sweet by and by.
All right, it's time to get some work done. So I got the TYM tractor here. I got my grapple on the front. If you remember, I got that grapple from Homestead Implements, made in the USA, along with my big rotary cutter back here. But the first job of the day, and the reason I brought the grapple, is just to kind of clean up a little bit, mainly along the driveway coming in, where he has mulched a bunch of these trees. Now, it is ground up fairly small. I mean, it will decompose where it's at without a problem. But along the driveway, I do want to just kind of clean it up so that this spring and summer, if we bring a lawnmower over here, we can actually mow along the driveway and just kind of tidy up a little bit.
Hanging high, I'll be okay in the sweet by and by. I was born that morning on the first day of June, 1900 and something and two. 'cause I've been lucky to some degree. For someone who ate all the fruit from the tree. Stars been aligned and my goose hanging high. I'll be okay in the sweet by and by. I'll be okay in the sweet by and by.
One of my main goals with this property is to have a great place to deer hunt for my family. And the little area we're in right here, we're nowhere near the cabin or the pond or anything, but you could tell this used to be a nice clearing, and it's all just grown up in elm trees and cedar trees. And clearly someone did used to hunt here. There's a big deer stand in a tree, and I think this was a food plot at one time. But check this out. Look at this big pear tree. I don't know if it's gonna make fruit or not, but it smells amazing right here. And it is covered in blossoms and all kinds of bugs pollinating these things. There's actually another one right there. I think it's alive, it just hasn't bloomed yet. But he's definitely not gonna take those down. I hope they make a bunch of pears. Well, I think this is where we're gonna call it quits for the day on this project. Got a lot done. I got a lot done with the tractor and the brush hog and grapple and all that stuff. But more importantly, we got a ton done, completed, improved with that big forestry mulcher. That thing is totally insane at the amount of work it can do. And you know, we've worked it about a day and a half, so got all of this cleared up over here, got the driveway cleared. I don't know that I've really actually shown you specifically, but from where the cabin is, and the little, I don't even want to call it a carport, little shed there, I did a bunch of cleanup here so that when you're over here in this cabin area, you can actually look back and see out across this big field. Across the field, there was a huge thicket of sumac, probably, I don't know, from that pine tree across over to here and about 20 yards deep. We cleared it all up, plus almost a half a day's work over on that food plot area, and a ton of work in just a day and a half, and so much more than I could have done with just a tractor and the rotary cutter and stuff. But yeah, phase one, I would say, of working on the new property. Pretty soon we're gonna have a dozer out here. My cousin did the dozer work for us at our house last winter, is bringing his dozer, and we're gonna start on the pond. Maybe push a little bit more timber, build some roads and some trails in here. I'm excited. This is fun. This is what I love to do. I love coming out here and putting work in and improving the land and making it look better, making it better for the wildlife, making it better for my family. And can't wait to see what we have in store for the cabin. Got a couple ideas in the works, and can't wait to get out here, put my feet up, relax, look at the pond, maybe put some catfish in the pond and go catch catfish with the kids, have a fish fry right here at the cabin. So anyways, guys, that's all I've got for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Y'all have a great day, and as always, we'll see you on the next video.